Hey, Shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadashis. All praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, right? It's the true name of the Heavenly Father. By Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahushai be the name of the only begotten Son. This is in the Paleo Hebrew, right, that the Lord said he was going to wake us up to, that pure language at the end of days, right, to give us his name back. In the correct pronunciation, this is through faith, right? I also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect preaching this word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazaban, the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify and we had the pleasure to have the brother Adayanawa from the Chicago camp come down and got to hold camp with the brother. He was a beautiful brother, man. Right, tender, loving soul, bro. But being able to chop it up with a brother, because we don't really get too many visitors in Arizona camp, right? So recently it's been ramping up, which is an extreme blessing. But hearing some of the accounts that he gave us, some testimonies of things that have happened within, the Chicago body, and it brings up the point that you got to be ready and willing to suffer in this thing, man. Right? This is what the Lord commanded us to do, and things are starting to happen in spirit. People are getting woken up, right? But more and more hell is being placed on our shoulders daily, that the Lord is making us hard through to be able to endure these times. So with that increase of hell, man, it begets more worry, more anxiety, right? A sense of impatience as far as, when is this shit gonna be over, right? You start hastening times, and within that hastening of the times, you got to keep it in mindset, hey, the Lord put me on this to suffer these things patiently, right? Because within that is when we got our victory, man, right? Within that, though we suffer all this stuff, the victory at the end of the tunnel, you got to have a mindset to vision that. So this is Hebrews 11. And let's start at 11. It says, through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed. It says, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who promised. Right? And this is the mindset you have to have in this thing. You got to judge him faithful who promised. And who's the one who gave us the promise? Yahweh, right? Or Yahweh Shai, in the name of Yahweh. He gave us the promise, right? Yahweh himself gave us the promise, right? Therefore, spring there even, Salakia, therefore, spring there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand of the sea, and as the sand which is by the sea, shore innumerable. It says, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off. Right? So this is the mindset. Right? You have to have the vision to see these things afar off, because that's how you're gonna fully have faith in these things. You gotta have a mind's eye of, hey, and what helps that is constantly staying in the scriptures and constantly staying in prophecy. Right? Because when those two things meet, the study within the scriptures and the study within the current events, then you see that time is ticking. Right? Then you see that the time is getting short. Right? It says, but having seen them afar off, were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Right? And this is what it means to actually be in the truth, man. You have to suffer a lot of things patiently, seeing things afar off, right? Knowing they're just outside of your grasp, and you having to wait constantly for the Lord to actually pull those things on you. That is faith. That is suffering, right? This is Baruch 4. Baruch 4 and 25. Started 24. It says, like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, right? All the heathen, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of everlasting. Right? It says, my children suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon thee, that has come upon you from the Most High, right? This is the times we're in right now, right? Time of Jacob's trouble, all this, going through hell with your woman, going through hell with your finances, right? Never getting a fair shake in the world. These are things that the Lord has commanded us to suffer patiently, right? You shouldn't get so discouraged that your mind gets pulled out of the faith. Right? You have to always endure all the fiery trials, man. It says, my children suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. You see, you have to suffer patiently all these things. Right? The Lord called us to be soldiers. When you think about a soldier, you're never supposed to stop. A soldier is never supposed to stop. Doesn't matter what's going on. The whole platoon can die around him. He's supposed to really fight on. That's the point of being a soldier. Unrelenting in the pursuit of the mission. Right? This is 2 Ezra 7 and 18. It says, nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wise. You see, the suffering is always there. Right? The suffering is always there. Right? Patience, suffering, long suffering, being made hard through these things. That's what makes a soldier. And that's what we've been called to do. That we may please him that called us, man. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide. It says, for they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. Right? But we're the ones that are doing what the Lord commanded. So we're not doing wicked things. Right? We actually have an expectation at the end of the hope. Right? This is Luke 21 and 19. It says, in your patience possess ye your souls. Right? In your patience. Right? Let me go to that word patience. Right? Steadfastness, consistency, endurance. It says patiently, steadfastly, steadfast waiting for, enduring, sustaining, perseverance, man. Right? You're being made hard. You continue waiting. Right? That waiting process is suffering, man. Right? Because you know a better way and you want it. You know these people deserve hands to get put on them. But the Lord said, wait ye upon me until I rise up, right, to the prey. So we got to wait on the Lord. That's part of suffering. Right? All these things are forms of suffering, man. And this is what the Lord had commanded us to do, to suffer patiently, right? To endure, right? But through the performance of these things, you're going to see, right, the mercy of the Lord. And pretty soon, all the patient waiting, all the suffering, all the begging the Lord win, Pretty soon, these things is going to start coming upon these people. They're not going to be able to sit here and take this because they don't have a mind to it. But the Lord gave us a mind to go through all these things for the elect's sake, right? For the goal, which is the prize of the Heavenly Father, man, salvation, right? Just a quick lesson, man. Lord willing is edifying them, say, call law, Yahweh Shem, Shai, Bashim, Crocodile, Shalom.